Major news outlets just got exposed using AI-enhanced images to manufacture outrage against ICE operations in Minneapolis. We're talking about deliberate digital manipulation designed to make Trump's deportation efforts look brutal and excessive. The evidence is damning, the coordination is obvious, and the foreign connections will blow your mind. Now, this is not just media bias anymore. This is psychological warfare against American immigration enforcement. When outlets use artificial intelligence to doctor images that make ICE look like stormtroopers, they're not reporting news, they are creating propaganda. Your family's safety depends on effective deportation of criminals. But the media wants you to oppose it through manufactured emotional manipulation. Politically, this exposes the entire anti-Trump resistance as a coordinated disinformation campaign. Tom Homan warned about organized funding behind these attacks, and now we're seeing the digital deception in real time. They're literally using computer-generated imagery to turn Americans against their own border security. And speaking of national security threats, let me tell you about a critical development that many people have missed. We got some breaking news that occurred January 5th, 2026. This has gone completely under the radar. The U.S. Department of Energy announced $2.7 billion in contracts to restore domestic uranium enrichment capabilities. This is not just government spending. It's a declaration of intent. You see, America needs uranium, domestic uranium, and it needs it now. You see, the U.S. consumes 50 million pounds of uranium annually, but produces virtually none domestically. We're completely dependent on foreign suppliers, including countries that hate us. While media manufactures fake ICE scandals, real national security requires energy independence, and Atomic Minerals is positioning investors ahead of this uranium boom. Their portfolio targets the exact deposits that America needs to break free from foreign uranium dependence. This is economic warfare disguised as energy policy. So, smart money follows government contracts, and Atomic Minerals is at the center of this. They're going to give you access to the companies that will supply America's uranium future. Don't let fake news distract you from the real opportunities. Atomic Minerals, check out the briefing. It is linked below. It's exclusively for Next News viewers because real security starts with resource independence. Now back to this media manipulation scandal. See, here's what makes this even more sinister. The Government Accountability Institute, they just connected these Minneapolis anti-ICE groups to Mexican government officials operating from the same addresses. Plus, Chinese Communist Party affiliates coordinating the entire operation. We're not dealing with organic American protests. This is foreign-directed information warfare using artificial intelligence to create fake visual evidence against our own immigration enforcement. Take a look at this. Greg Price writes, I can't think of anything that more sums up this current moment than the fact that the media used an old picture of Renee Good and an AI-edited Facetune of Alex Pretti in their stories because they decided that they weren't hot enough to have you fiddle on your whatever. They're using AI-enhanced imagery. The media manipulation sets up the perfect example of their hypocrisy. Watch how they literally contradict their own messaging while pushing fake imagery. Tim Graham. It's somehow perfect. A perfect pratfall. At the top of her Monday MS Now show, Nicole Wallace aired an AI-enhanced image of nonviolent bystander Alex Pretti as she alleged Trump demands you may not believe your eyes and ears on this. She says we can see the facts with our own eyes.
When the history of this moment, this time, is studied, an epicenter of this moment will undoubtedly be the city and the people of Minneapolis, Minnesota. The people there were pushed to the brink over the weekend again in the wake of another killing of a nonviolent bystander by ICE agents in Minneapolis. This time it was 37-year-old Alex Pretti, an ICU nurse who cared for veterans. Donald Trump and his cabinet, his administration, are demanding once again that you not believe your eyes and ears. Fortunately, for the sake of our country and our democracy, Americans in large numbers today are choosing to reject Donald Trump's lies and his administration's lies and reject a smear campaign by Donald Trump and his administration that is intended to somehow justify the unjustifiable, a state-sanctioned act of brutality on the streets of an American city. First, the facts as we understand them, as we can see them with our...
I mean, the lower third graphic says, ICU nurse. Yeah, apparently he was no longer an ICU nurse, and he had fallen into the deception of the disinformation, looked to find a new home, and was welcomed with open arms by the radical left, and brainwashed into taking action and bringing a gun to a protest. And now he's dead. And MSNBC decides they're going to show this beautiful picture of him dressed as a nurse. But are they going to show the real picture of him spitting on ICE agents and kicking their cars in? Are they going to show that footage? I mean, there's literally only 6 seconds left in this clip.
Our own eyes?
Yeah. No. Of course, our own eyes. The irony gets richer when you see how media personalities are getting destroyed in real time for defending these so-called peaceful protesters. Here's Kevin O'Leary dismantling the narrative.
Concrete evidence.
You got to be careful. That's way
there was some supports. There was some
serving the government.
We have seen white supremacist tattoos.
Risking their lives, serving the government.
Risking their lives, they're taking lives,
You're calling them Proud Boy militia. Did you say that?
Well, I did not call them Proud Boy militia, but I think it's disgraceful that you're sitting here. I'm actually not. But I think that there are white supremacist tattoos on their
white supremacist federal officers.
Yeah, white supremacist federal officers.
Like, where are you going with this? Why would you say that?
I'm going with my eyes, ears, and logic. There have been multiple ICE agents who have white supremacist
men and women working for the federal government, risking their lives, carrying out a mandate, and they're white supremacists?
Yes, and you're a member of a cult, so I don't expect you to have
Whoa.
I think the generalizations here are a bit of an overreach.
Yeah, and let's not make personal attacks.
Yeah, a bit of an overreach indeed. Wait to hear what these innocent bystanders were actually saying to federal officers. This audio completely destroys the victim narrative. Watch this. Alex Pretti says, assault me, MFer, on January 13, trying to get injured by federal officers.
Look at you! Pepper spray, bitch! Fucking assault me, motherfucker! Fucking fuck you guys! Fucking trash!
Yeah. You didn't see that clip on MSNBC, him spitting and kicking the officer's vehicle? While media figures melt down over being called out, the bigger stories emerging about who's really behind the coordinated attacks. Greg Gutfeld goes haywire on Jessica Tarlov. Watch this. Oh, clip's not playing. He says, we had dozens of American deaths where you didn't say anything. I'm absolutely bored by this. I'm bored by the Nazi stuff, bored by the concerned people in the media that were not concerned then. The lazy everyone's a Nazi playbook is falling apart as evidence mounts of something much more organized and sinister than the protests. Dr. Carolyn B., if you aren't anti-ICE, you're a racist Nazi. Okay, check this out.
Kind of that time where people are going to start really showing their colors, and like people were, but they were maybe a little afraid to. Like they didn't want to fully let you know how racist and how much of a Nazi they were before, because they felt a little shame in doing it. Now people are just truly showing their colors, and they're like, no, I actually side with ICE, and I do think they should be shooting American citizens in the face. I think they should be kidnapping people and killing them, and I think that's 100% fine. And by the way, I don't agree with the Second Amendment anymore, only when it serves me. And we'll get a lot of people who are like, well, you know, what do we need? We need to be nice to those other people to let them in, like people who are deciding to change sides now. And I'm like, change sides now. Change sides now. We've been living under an authoritarian regime for an entire year. And now you think things might be a little bad, and then you want me to coddle you? First of all, if you truly decided that you like think that things are bad and you should not be a horrible person anymore, or you're like woken up to propaganda, then you'll feel the guilt that tells you like, I need to be better. And if you don't feel that guilt, you are probably just a Nazi. You're probably just a horrible fucking person who literally believes people should be killed. And I have empathy that there are people who do not understand because like they might not have learned, right? But like you can learn now, like even the propaganda is telling, like even Fox News is like, ooh, this is bad. And
yeah, I've had enough of you. It's not random activism. We're seeing documented proof of foreign coordination, and the players involved will shock you. Government Accountability Institute, the Minneapolis situation is not organic protest. Mexican government officials operate out of the same addresses as anti-ICE groups. Chinese Communist Party affiliated organizations are coordinating operations, and it's all real. Here's Peter Schweitzer with Donald Trump Jr.
What is the nexus to all of this and, what's going on in Minnesota? I mean, are there foreign actors fanning the flames there?
Yeah, there absolutely are. So Mexico has a consulate in St. Paul, which fits the pattern where other things have happened. And some of those groups, there's a group called CLUES, that's the acronym that's involved in a lot of these anti-ICE protests. They share the same address as the Mexican consulate. And they work together all the time. There's another group called MIRAC that is involved in organizing a lot of these anti-ICE protests. They also work very, very closely with the consulate. And if you look last year at what happened in Los Angeles and after Los Angeles, you have these Mexican officials. Again, these are senior government officials in Mexico that live inside the United States. There's a guy named Alejandro Robles who lives in Ontario, California. He sits in the Mexican parliament. He's the head of international operations for the Morena Party, which is the ruling party. In 2025, he went across the country, in his words, to quote unquote, organize the militancy inside the United States. He met with Antifa groups. He spoke before them. He went to other groups, and the whole purpose of it was to increase radical activism inside the United States. You look at some of the other groups that are operating in Minneapolis, Freedom Road Socialist Organization or Party for Socialism and Liberation. You'll see a lot of these signs that look exactly similar. If you look down below, you'll see either PSL or FRSO. These are both groups that are supported and encouraged by the Chinese Communist Party, and they have both pledged their allegiance to the Chinese Communist Party, and they are actively involved in combat in our streets. So what's going on is, yes, you've got the sort of shrieking Minneapolis middle-aged white women with their whistles. But you also have a very detailed, organized effort involving foreign actors. And what they want, Don, is they want this fight. They want violence. They want martyrs.
Yeah.
Because they see this as undermining what the Trump administration is trying to do.
And they're getting their martyrs right on cue. Evidence of foreign interference mounting. ICE leadership is making clear accountability is coming for the orchestrated attacks. Tom Homan, from his press briefing yesterday in Minnesota.
Well, first of all, about the organization and the funding of the attacks on ICE. I'm not going to answer a lot about that because I'm not going to show our hand, but they'll be held accountable. Justice is coming. Again, we got to all remember why the questions we've seen and why we're here. What started this? 4 years of an open border where millions of people are in this country unvetted. Remember, let's not forget, for 4 years we were told the border was secure. 4 years we were told the border was secure. And we all knew it wasn't. And I want this to be a positive thing we're doing here today. I also want to remember the politicians are continually attacking us. Where were they the last 4 years when the number of women, children, sex trafficking went all-time high? Where were they when 250,000 Americans died from fentanyl coming across the border? Where were they when women and children are dying making that journey? Where were they when over 4,000 aliens making that journey died? Historic record. Where were they? Not a word. Now we're just trying to respond to what happened the last 4 years and keeping this country safe. And we're arresting a lot of public safety threats, take them off the streets, which make this country safer. President Trump promised to make this country safe again, and that's what we're doing. But my 2.5 days up here, we made a lot of progress. I think everybody agrees on the criminal and public safety threats. They agree it's much safer and easier to arrest an alien in a facility than send a whole team out in the field that's going to draw anger, because now we got to send a bunch of people to do something that could have been done by 1 or 2 people.
Holm is not just talking tough, he's deploying resources to match the violence that's escalating. Here he is more from the press conference.
We made the decision to allow this kind of operation to proceed in this way and to create such fear.
Well, look, the Border Patrol, last 4 years under Joe Biden, we had an open border where 10, 12,000 people a day went across the border. Border Patrol got overwhelmed, which means we sent thousands of ICE agents down there to help deal with that humanitarian crisis, help secure the border. Now we have millions of people released in this nation, many unvetted. Now we got to find them. Before the big, beautiful bill, we had a total just under 5,000 deportation officers to look for millions of people, many in public safety threats. So yes, we needed Border Patrol to come and help on our mission now. And the reason for the massive deployment is because of the threats, because of the violence. Our officers need to be protected. If I'm on an operation, an arrest team, I'm going to a house, I got to be busy with that guy, the dangerous guy, and I can't keep looking over my shoulder at what's happening outside the house. So we brought extra resources in to provide that security. And as I said, as we drill down on these great agreements we got and this great understanding we have, means less. So we can draw down those resources. When the violence decreases, we can draw down those resources. But based on the discussions I've had with the governor and the AG, we can start drawing down those resources as far as those looking for public safety threats being released, and do it in the jail with much less people. So the drawdown is going to happen based on these agreements. But the drawdown can happen even more if the hateful rhetoric and the impediment and interference will stop. So Border Patrol, I was a Border Patrol agent. These men and women are patriots. God bless them. They're here to help us. And the drawdown will come soon, depending on when this actually, I see this in play. But the agreements to have alone is going to cause a significant drawdown. So you're going to see a drawdown.
You're going to see the drawdown. That's exactly. Only if they play ball. The violence is escalating exactly as predicted, with activists now targeting anyone they suspect of being federal agents, leading to dangerous misidentification. Jorge Ventura Media. Several dispersal orders issued by local authorities on the LRAD system outside the Graduate Hotel in Minneapolis as protesters target another hotel they believe federal agents are staying.
Avenue Southeast is private property. I've spoken with the lawful possessor of the property, and they demand you leave their property immediately. You are in violation of Minneapolis City Noise Ordinance 389.65 and Minnesota State Statute 609.705, an unlawful assembly. I am hereby ordering you to depart from this property immediately. This property includes the interior of the building and the surrounding sidewalks. Please leave the property by walking eastbound on Washington Avenue.
The LRADs have been deployed. The mob mentality is spiraling out of control, but there is poetic justice brewing as the coordinators become targets themselves. ICE Watch activists using signals sounded the false alarm that a couple at a diner were ICE. They swarmed the restaurant and attacked 2 TSA employees. And I don't have the video. Apparently, it's not loading at the moment. But the organizers are facing their own harassment. The mask is coming off the peaceful protesters, and the footage is damning. This footage, though, this is going viral right now. If you haven't seen it yet, I'm going to present it to you. Notorious ICE agitator Andrew Mercado, known for doxing the hotels of ICE agents, inciting mobs to attack people, and recording stolen documents, is now having people show up at his house. Note, I don't condone this, but it is ironic. Now, I don't know exactly who this person is, but clearly he has had enough. He's had enough, and he decided to show up at the guy who's been doxing the ICE agent's house.
Andrew, your video, it was cute. However, the team of Punishers, we got your address. We know who you are. Watch your fucking mouth. You hear me? Watch your fucking mouth. Commies, stand down. We've broken your signal groups. We've hacked your sites. You dumb fuckers vibe coded out a site that should have been locked down. And Andrew, watch your fucking mouth, bitch boy. Wipe your paws off.
Misinformation comes with consequences.
Misinformation comes with consequences. So, people are taking matters into their own hands. And it looks like he was freaking out too. Mercado Media 1. Please share. Jaden Scott, he tags him. I guess that's the person in the video. And unknown accomplices have found where I live and posted video online outside my door. I have my apartment managed and local police involved. Obviously have to move so more people are aware of the situation. So he's freaking out. Well, the entire Democrat narrative about the innocent nurses imploded, setting up Homan for the knockout punch about where these defenders have been all along. Remember this video? This is the innocent and harmless, peaceful kind nurse the Democrats were crying about. The entire left-wing narrative is crashing down. The Democrats don't want you to see or share this.
Look at you! Pepper spray, bitch! Fucking insult me, motherfucker! Fucking fuck you guys! Fucking trash! Fucking trash!
This is a moment the news movement filmed on January 13th in Minneapolis, showing a man who appears to be Alex Pretti interacting with federal immigration agents 11 days before Border Patrol shot and killed him. Our footage was analyzed by the BBC, whose facial recognition technology confirmed his identity to a 97% degree of accuracy. On the morning of January 13th, our team received a tip that federal agents were blocking a street at the corner of East 36 and Park Avenue in Minneapolis. We arrived around 10:15 a.m. We saw observers shouting at the agents as they walked back to their vehicles. When they started driving away, the man kicked their taillight. An agent then got out of the vehicle, grabbed him, and pushed him to the ground. During the altercation, agents fired tear gas and pepper balls into the crowd. They continued to hold the man down before they retreat and he walks away.
That's your peaceful nurse. Tom Homan calling out the Democrats in front of millions.
I also want to remember the politicians are continually attacking us. Where were they the last 4 years when the number of women and children sex trafficking went all-time high? Where were they when 250,000 Americans died from fentanyl coming across the border? Where were they?
So, you've seen it here. AI-enhanced images. Tom Homan says justice is coming regarding the organized funding behind the ICE attacks, and now we know why. Because foreign governments are using AI technology to generate anti-American propaganda disguised as news coverage. They're literally manufacturing fake evidence to stop deportation of criminals. This is treason with a digital twist. And the media just got caught red-handed using artificial intelligence to manufacture anti-ICE propaganda. Foreign governments are coordinating these attacks while news outlets provide the digital deception to sell it. Tom Homan brought extra security because of organized violence, and now we see the organized lies designed to stop him. This is information warfare using AI technology to protect criminal, illegal aliens from deportation. And when outlets use computer-generated imagery to make ICE look brutal, they're not informing Americans, they're deceiving them on behalf of foreign interests. You think news outlets using AI-generated images to attack immigration enforcement should lose their broadcast license? Check out the Next News merch shop for gear that supports real journalism over digital deception.
The system controls information. Information control is power.
They don't want you to see this.
The truth only survives together. They don't want this. Share this now.